Alright, so today's video is going to rely on the simple fact that I can actually get these nuts to come off. So I'm probably going to have to heat it up with the propane torch and then get rid of the cat and replace it with this one from Megan Racing. So it comes with lifetime warranty, some stickers, that's like 20 horsepower for each one, all new hardware and gaskets. So I got this from the States, it was like 86 US dollars. With shipping it cost me like 130, 140 Australian. OEM cat from Honda is 500-ish dollars Australian. Second hand was like 350 plus. So we're going with a full stainless from Megan Racing, a high flow cat. It's pretty much just a test pipe. If and when I can actually remove that cat, I'll show you the problem with that. But basically the platinum that sits inside has come loose and rolls, and it blocks the actual outlet for the gases. So while I'm driving it will stutter and struggle, and generally I have to back off the throttle, it'll move, and then I'll be able to keep going. It's a pain in the ass going over bumps. It will roll around and rattle. This is the replacement. It's got a bung in there for the O2 sensor. My O2 sensor is actually on the flexi pipe that sits before the cat, so I'm now actually hoping that I won't have to remove the flexi pipe and it should all be the same length. The tack welds look like they're pretty good. That's a lie, it's actually very good. So yeah, I'll get under there and try and get them all removed. Put that on. The first thing I am going to do actually is, with my phone, I've got a decibel reader on it, so I'm going to see if it makes any difference in exhaust notes. So 66. Alright, so that's the before, 66. Alright, now let's see if I can do it without having to drop the whole exhaust. Holy fuck. These two I can grind while it's on the car. The top I'm not going to be able to get to at all. Right, so now I'm going to have to back all of these off, or pain in the ass one here. Alright, so it's been maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. bit of a battle scar going on. So I was right to replace this. Those studs were completely and utterly seized. So I had to pull out the whole exhaust, because these just kept rounding off. No matter what size I used, metric, imperial, just wouldn't spin. So now I'm gonna have to use the grinder. I tried heating it up with the propane torch, still didn't make any difference at all. So now the fun part. All of this is from 1999. Everything's still stamped Honda. There's a big ass ugly muffler, the resonator, with a cat. What a headache. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a little bit easier. I think I'm going to stick to my MX-5s after this. Right, finally. So I don't know if you can see in there, but you can hear it. That's not supposed to do that. So now the fun part. So what I'm going to do is put it on in two pieces. Bolt that back up to the front. Actually, first I'm going to fit this and then slide it back under and do it. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to do up the two top ones. But yeah, fun. So this one's a straight through. It's a high flow cap. Right, so it's like a week after I dropped this, ground them off. With work I didn't get enough time to come back up and do it. So, because Honda, for the J-pot, they use a exhaust paste instead of an actual physical gasket. So I grabbed some manifold sealant, and I have to lather it on, slide the exhaust back under, and then start hanging it back up, and then bolt that up. That's almost...
Where is it? Near the engine, yeah?
Yeah. What's this one?
Yeah, that's nearly flush.
Alright, so after like 2.5 hours of fighting the car, it's on. It's not much louder at all. I'll do a decibel test, but now the sealant has to settle and finish smoking. So we'll let it get hot. But what I will do is, there's going to be a dodgy sound comparison because it's raining. .67 at the highest. So it's about the same, really. Right, so it's finally sealed. Stopped smoking, so it's all cured. I don't know how well you're going to be able to hear this over the sound of the rain, but so that's it for now. Tomorrow, once the rain stops, I'll drop this back on the ground, take it for a drive, see if there's any difference in sound. The paperwork that was supplied does say here that you will gain a little bit of sound when the VTEC crossover kicks in, and it says you will gain a performance boost in top end. But let's be realistic, it might be 1, maybe 2 horsepower at best. It's never been on a dyno, and to be honest, I am not wasting my money to put this on the dyno. It's not like they can be tuned. In the States, you were all lucky. From 96 or 95 onward, all of your cars were OBD2. Here in Australia, it was like 2001, 2002 onwards. Otherwise, this is a 99 model and it's still OBD1. Same as most of the cars here. But until tomorrow, this is it. It's all done, all buttoned up, back up. Letting it run for a few more minutes. I'll put the heat shield back on. Once it cools down, I'll come out in the morning, drop it down, and we'll take it for a drive. Okay, it sounds a bit better, and I don't know if it's just because now the platinum's not blocking the exhaust, but it is noticeably more responsive. I'm thinking that's just because the platinum's not blocking the exhaust pipe. It doesn't really sound too much louder. As for the smell of fuel, to be honest, it's no worse than what it was with the old Cat, since the old Cat would roll around and a lot of the gases would just pass straight around the Cat instead of going through all the platinum. overall. I think for what I paid for it, it was $80 US for the test pipe, and then like another $20 or $30 for shipping. All up, it was like 130, 140 Australian bucks. I'm not going to complain. It's a lot cheaper than buying a OEM cat from Honda for $500 and I think it was $40 for a new one. Second hand, I looked around, they were like $350, $400 bucks. This is a no-brainer. I'm probably going to order a Megan Racing test pipe for the NB. I'm curious to see how much difference in sound it will make on that, being that it's got a full exhaust, basically from the cat right back. It's a 2.5 or 2 3/4 exhaust into a redback mega flow muffler. Kind of hoping it would pop and crackle a little bit in this when I down gear at higher RPM, or just engine braking, but so far nothing. It's probably because it's got a full stock muffler and a little resonator, but overall I'd say decent value for money. Unfortunately, now it's the only shiny part that's under the car, but to be honest, even this wasn't supposed to happen, because this is supposed to be a daily and be kept stock. I said that about the MX-5 when I got it. I'm not going to touch it, it's going to stay stock, I swear, I swear, I swear. Then it started with cold air intake, radiator cooling plate, and then before I knew it, it was Bride racing seats, coilovers, Enki wheels, semi-slicks, exhaust. But actually I'll just leave this out of the shed. But yeah, overall I'm not going to complain. I normally would take this home, but I've got a couple of things that need to do to the Mazda this week, and getting the steering wheel re-wrapped, getting rid of my double din DVD player touchscreen head unit, going single din, and then I've got to install my oil temp and oil pressure gauges. I've got a little single din metal triple gauge, yeah, holder, I guess, bracket, spacer, whatever you want to call it. So it'll be oil pressure, oil temp, and then it'll either be a water temp gauge, or I might put the boost gauge in there once I turbocharge it. But yeah, that's it for me in the car. Alright, so I realized I forgot to do an outro, so this is me from the future saying thanks for hanging around. Leave a like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, comment, share and subscribe. Stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next episode.